There are moments on television that feel written by screenwriters, carefully measured and rehearsed down to the millisecond, and then there are moments that seem to slip past the cameras completely unbidden, capturing a truth so raw that the rest of the world just stops to watch. When Tian, Xiwei and Yitian stepped into the frame, no one was truly prepared for the atmosphere to shift as violently as it did, turning a simple performance into an unforgettable study in quiet, unscripted intensity. On paper, it was just a moment built around a shared sequence, a brief physical choreography meant to serve a narrative or entertain a crowd, but from the second their eyes locked, the energy in the room transformed entirely. It was not just the physical movement itself, but the stillness that lived right beneath it, a sudden unspoken understanding that made every person watching hold their breath, wondering if they were witnessing a carefully guarded secret unfold in real time. The way they moved toward each other carried a deliberate, almost hesitation-filled weight, as if both actors were hyper-aware of the space collapsing between them. Yitian, known for his commanding yet often reserved presence, seemed to soften instantly in her orbit, his posture shifting into something far more attentive and surprisingly vulnerable. Meanwhile, Tian Xiwei, whose expressive eyes have always possessed a rare ability to communicate entire stories without a single word, looked up at him with a gaze so completely focused that everything else surrounding them seemed to blur into soft focus. As he wrapped his arms around her, drawing her close for that long, breathless embrace, it was not the grandeur of the gesture that took everyone's breath away, but the quiet intimacy of it. There was no theatrical exaggeration, no forced drama for the cameras, just a seamless, natural pull that made the hug feel far less like a choreographed beat and far more like a genuine sanctuary found in the middle of a chaotic room. The chemistry between them is not the kind that burns out quickly with loud flashes or over-the-top antics. It is a slow, steady tide that slowly engulfs everyone paying attention. As they swayed together, their rhythm was surprisingly synchronized, as though they were tuned into an unspoken cadence only the two of them could hear. Every subtle adjustment of his hand on her back, every slight tilt of her head as she leaned into his shoulder, seemed to carry an incredible emotional weight, fueling an overwhelming wave of fascination among fans globally. It is rare to see two performers synchronize so effortlessly, where physical touch does not feel like an acting assignment, but rather a natural extension of an unseen emotional bond. People watching could not help but analyze every micro-expression, the way his fingers gently held her, the genuine smile that flickered across her lips, and the soft sigh that seemed to escape her as she let herself be held, leaving an indelible mark on anyone who appreciates authentic human connection on screen. What makes this particular dance so addicting to rewatch is the delicate balance of tension and tenderness that vibrates through every single second. There is a palpable electricity in the air, a thrilling kind of suspense where you feel as though at any second, the unspoken words between them might finally be spoken aloud. Every time they turned together, the closeness felt almost painfully beautiful, creating a visual harmony that felt both incredibly cozy and strikingly intense. You could see it in the way Yitian hovered over her protectively, his height creating a natural frame that wrapped Tian Xiwei in a visual cocoon of warmth and safety. She, in turn, matched his presence with an open, trusting energy that elevated the entire dynamic, proving that true chemistry cannot be manufactured by light cues, poetic scripts, or clever editing tricks. It is something that either exists naturally in the space between two people, or it does not exist at all. As the music carried them through the embrace, the reaction from those watching live and the millions who would later replay the footage was virtually identical, a collective realization that they were witnessing magic. It was a sequence that transcended standard star power, tapping into that universal human desire to see genuine affection, protection, and unspoken longing play out in front of our eyes. Long after the movement slowed and the embrace finally loosened, the lingering energy between Tian Xiwei and Yitian remained heavy in the air, leaving a trace of soft reluctance in the way they finally stepped back from one another. Their shared glances in those trailing seconds spoke volumes, carrying a soft, lingering warmth that proved some connections are simply too real to be contained by a director's call to wrap, leaving an everlasting impression on the hearts of everyone who watched them sway together.